Following World War II, a massive power vacuum opened in the Middle East as the British Empire receded. The United States quickly stepped in to manage the region's security and protect global energy interests. Look at this map of the Middle East. The United States built a regional security umbrella that encompassed nations like Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates, and Saudi Arabia, pulling them directly into the American defensive network. In 1979, the Islamic Revolution shattered that established order. Ayatollah Khomeini came to power under a doctrine of total resource sovereignty, flatly rejecting any foreign control over Iranian assets. To enforce this doctrine and survive outside the American network, Iran aggressively expanded its domestic military and launched a controversial nuclear program. But Israel already held the position of the region's sole nuclear power. For Israeli leadership, preventing any neighboring state from breaking that monopoly is an existential security requirement. Iran required a sovereign deterrent to survive, while the US and Israel required containment to maintain the established order. A violent collision was inevitable. Over a period of several years, the Israeli intelligence agency, Mossad, covertly hijacked Iran's internal network of traffic and surveillance cameras. The Iranian government originally installed these lenses to monitor its own citizens. Instead, they became the exact weapon used to dismantle its top leadership. Through these compromised feeds, Mossad collected massive amounts of raw data. They tracked precise arrival times, mapped out bodyguard formations, and logged specific parking habits. This diagram illustrates what intelligence agencies call a pattern of life. A pattern of life is a specific set of behaviors and routines that a target repeats predictably. Mossad fed this raw data into algorithms to build routine models for top Iranian targets. Eventually, the algorithm flagged a critical anomaly. The data indicated that a group of high-ranking Iranian officers were secretly converging on a single, isolated compound. Based on this exact geolocation data, Israel launched a multi-strike attack. Within seconds, the compound was leveled, resulting in the assassination of Ali Khamenei. Modern assassinations are now the lethal mathematical result of big data and predictive modeling. The violence immediately broke out of the shadows and expanded across multiple domains, stretching all the way to the Indian Ocean. Off the coast of Sri Lanka, an American submarine fired an Mk-48 heavyweight torpedo directly at the Iranian warship IRS Dina, sinking it. The Mk-48 is a heavyweight torpedo designed to sink high-speed submarines and surface ships. The unprovoked strike killed 87 Iranian sailors, while the Sri Lankan Navy managed to pull 32 survivors from the water. This aggressive maritime action aligned entirely with Donald Trump's stated policy objective, to achieve the complete neutralization of Iran's military and political leadership. This detailed map displays Iran's immediate, highly asymmetric military retaliation. The Revolutionary Guard launched a swarm of 65 missiles and 12 drones at the U.S. military's radar system in Qatar. The AN/FPS-132 is a sophisticated long-range radar that tracks ballistic missiles and drones from up to 5,000 kilometers away. The sheer volume of this swarm tactic was designed to intentionally overwhelm the American defense network. Interceptors destroyed dozens of threats, but 2 final strikes slipped through and obliterated the radar. The destruction of this facility, the eyes and ears of the regional network, shifts the conflict from deniable shadow strikes to the direct dismantling of high-value military infrastructure. By blinding the Qatar radar, Iran is demonstrating it can strike the very backbone of the American regional defense network. This satellite image shows the ultimate battleground for this conflict, the Strait of Hormuz. Look at the resource flow on this map. Saudi Arabia, Iraq, and the UAE pump massive quantities of oil every day, and 20% of the world's total daily oil production is forced to squeeze through this tiny 33-kilometer bottleneck to reach global markets. In retaliation for the targeted assassinations, Iran established a strategic red line. They threatened to blockade the strait and fire upon any U.S. or European commercial shipping vessels attempting to pass through. The mere threat of this blockade sent an immediate shockwave through the global economy, causing oil prices to spike rapidly and exposing the energy vulnerability of massive importing nations like China and India. What began back in 1979 as an ideological struggle for domestic sovereignty evolved into a brutal exchange of predictive cyber algorithms and sunken warships. Today, it stands as a direct threat with the power to paralyze the modern world.